HYTALE is set to release with a variety of weapons from swords to axes, even something secret I'm going to show you later on. I'm going to go over each weapon and provide you with as much information as I can. But real quick before we get into the video, I'm trying to hit 100 subscribers before the game comes out, so if you like HYTALE and want to support the channel, why not consider hitting that subscribe button down below, and let's get on with the video. First off, we're going to take a look at the daggers. Now weirdly, I can't find much information or images about these, except for what you're seeing on the screen, and that they'll come in different versions, being the copper dagger, the cobalt dagger, the thorium dagger, ethereal dagger, and the iron dagger. Now personally, I think these weapons are going to have a low damage, high attack speed, and maybe they might give you more mobility, allowing you to run faster or whatever, but I think you're going to have less defense because you're not going to be able to block as effectively or have a shield, so there's going to be some kind of trade-off with these weapons. Like, I'm hoping they have some sort of stealth mechanic where you can like get up behind the enemy and like do crit damage with the daggers, and that allows you to take enemies out really quick, or maybe it's just got super high DPS. We'll only have to wait and see. And as for the different versions, who knows what that's going to include. I'm assuming it'll be like better damage, maybe faster speeds, but maybe different rarities do different things. We'll have to wait and see. Now onto the swords. We haven't seen much gameplay of the different swords, but what I can tell you is there are 12 different swords that we currently know of. They are thorium, runic, bronze, cobalt, fire, copper, steel, stone, forest, chalk, wooden, and iron. You know, I just want to point out how amazing and cool the fire sword looks. From what we know about this thing, it's the second best weapon in the game. It's a slow two-handed weapon that deals 22 to 29 damage per hit, with a chance to set enemies on fire with a whopping 70 durability from what it looks like. Now, this thing, I'm wondering, how do we get it? What's the requirements to find this item or to build this item? And how is it going to fare when it comes to things like PvP? Is it going to be good for that? Because I know PvP isn't in the game straight away, but when it gets added, is that going to be a go-to weapon, or is it going to be a mid-tier weapon for PvPers? And are mobs going to be able to jump out the way, like dodge? I'm kind of hoping that it's like mobs can slightly get out the way, so you need to preemptively strike, because I do enjoy two-handed weapons in almost every game I play, so once the game comes out, I definitely want to play around with it. For axes, it seems like we don't have as many as we do swords, but what we do have is the stone axe, stone great axe, chalk axe, metal axe. I'm assuming this will be made out of iron. Metal battle axe, again I assume this is made out of iron but will deal greater damage. The cobalt axe, and finally the demonic axe, which will be the strongest weapon in the game, dealing 41 to 54 damage with a DPS of 46. This will be a fast one-handed weapon which can consume the souls of slain enemies, increasing your damage for a limited time, as well as some of the damage you deal is reflected back to you, so you'd better be careful not to deal lethal damage to yourself when using this weapon. I'm actually curious how this mechanic will affect weapon choice. Like, will you use the axe over the sword if it means you could potentially harm yourself and end your own run, or send yourself back to the respawn screen? You know, will you be using the swords or will you be using this axe? For this next weapon type, I couldn't find much info about it at all, and that's the throwing spear. Currently, we know of the iron, gold, and razor spears, with only the gold having this image. Now, for how good these will be and how much damage and DPS they do, and what the retrieval is like when we throw them, we don't know. I found there used to be more information about these in blog posts, but they have since been removed. Now, whether that means that throwing spears have been taken out of the game remains to be seen, but I thought you should all know about them. And let me know down below, what are your thoughts on throwing spears? Will they actually be in the game, or have they been removed, or will they be included at a later date? Let me know your thoughts. Now for a weapon that I'm curious about, we have the mace. So far I can find very slight bits of information about the crude mace and the metal mace. Like most weapons, the mace can be regularly slung or charged up to do a stronger attack. When it hits a creature, it also pushes said creature around depending on which direction it was swung. Creatures that are launched because of the mace attack also take damage from colliding with other surfaces. Now, whilst the weapon is referred to as the crude mace, it can be noted that its texture is akin to a stonish material, suggesting that this is what it is made up of. Now, I am very curious as to what role the mace will play in the game. I'm assuming it'll be more of like a defensive pushback weapon with not too much damage, or maybe hitting mobs and enemies off of cliffs or mountains. As for bows, yes, they are in the game. Bows are a type of weapon used to make range attacks against enemies. They have been seen repeatedly since their first reveal in the game's announcement trailer. They appear to come in multiple varieties like other weapons such as wood and thorium. Bows appear to require arrows and a quiver to use. Crossbows are not well understood, having been seen only briefly doing on the trailer. Now, I haven't seen much gameplay clips of the bow or crossbow being used, and I'm going to be honest, it's been 7 years, I haven't gone back and watched the trailer. But in the clips you're seeing now, you can see the crossbow and bow in the player's hotbar. Again, saying that yes, they are in the game and will probably be there on launch. But yeah guys, that's going to do it for this Wait, what? Do you hear that? What is that?